telcos have begun undertaking major modifications to their security systems, especially on the mobile money applications after the Bank of Ghana fraud experts of course, stakeholders reported on that sector. Specialized deposit-taking institutions and payment service providers revealed that mobile money scammers made away with customers' money totaling some 26 million cedis from 12,166 cases last year. Apart from the fraud on the mobile money platforms, it also revealed that banks recorded some 2,998 fraud cases with 188 bank staff involved in matters such as forgery and manipulation of documents, of course, which were prominent with a total of some 33 million Ghana cedis stolen out of that. Let's get you a view of what's happening across the country in respect of the mobile money transactions, because a number of issues have been happening, including this that you need to know about. Listen to some cases, reporting about the modus operandi of mobile money operators.
Yeah, gang, yeah, Dawson. Inti your microphone be or ya mo muskaso monkoye merchant e okwan.
We are a gang. We have planted people as mobile money agents or merchants, so we are able to capture your contact details when you transact.
Number one ho, sika no so deposit no one ho. Inti da se unya ye wie na okope obetwa. No, they are sending.
We have a code that can reveal all your registration information, including your ID number. So after the day's work, we access the log and start calling the numbers, having in mind the amount in your account with the aim to get your code.
Street, you cancel receive maybe 1 hour ago and 3 days ago.
Another way is to capture your code with a CCTV camera in our office, or get someone to overlook your shoulders for the code. For that, you can access your money directly.
The camera na capture. You see on our number or code or ID number so into yen freo. You be cash you see on the street.
Well, so that's how mobile money operators working in this country. A repented fraudster or mobile money scammer indicating their modus operandi there on our sister station as Empire FM. But let's get you a graphic picture of what's happening in terms of the mobile money transactions and how issues of fraud is taking an alarming rate within the sector. Total loss amounting to some 26 million Ghana cedis, of course, affecting some 12,166 individuals who've been scammed over the period. A number of cases totaling 2,998 with 33 million Ghana cedis lost, and bank staff also involved or collaborating in this whole process of the fraudulent activities totaling some 188. That's the total number that we're dealing with. Let's bring in Charles Quinciano, who speaks for the Mobile Money Agents Association of Ghana. He's joining us via Zoom. Thank you, sir, for your time. Quite a staggering figure there, and I'm sure that you, as of course, the merchants, have also been on the receiving end of all of these fraudulent activities. How rampant would you say this is, aside what the report is pointing at?
Thank you, Kofi, and a very good afternoon to your cherished viewers. I want to put it on record that since the introduction of the Ghana card for the single registration, a lot of these activities have come to a standstill because the modus operandi that these fraudsters are going by have changed, and therefore it has become so difficult for them to be able to defraud customers and then that of the agent body as whole. But with that said, it will interest you to know that most of these claims of fraudsters are of the view that most of the agent body and that of some customers, a section of the customers, are not well equipped in terms of education with regards to the usage of the mobile money app. And it is so difficult. That brought about a third party into the scene.
Charles,
Without said,
yes,
finding it so difficult.
Charles, if you can hear me, we lost you briefly on the point you're making. If you could just take that point for us again about the modus operandi that you're talking about and the fact that some of the persons within the sector do not have a full comprehension of what's going on. Share that with us again. Charles, are you still there with us? Charles, if you can hear me, you were making the point about the modus operandi and how these individuals operate and the fact that there's an application which all of them are not, I mean, most of them are not aware of. Share that with us. We seem to have lost Charles Quinciano there, who speaks for the Mobile Money Vendors Association of Ghana. They are equally alarmed about the staggering figures that we're looking at in terms of that 26 million people, 26 million Ghana cedis being made away with by scammers on mobile money activities. Will definitely raise him back to get a sense of what's going on within the sector. But the highest earner on the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, its monthly pension payments, was credited to his account over 100,000 cedis today. But over 50% of pensioners will only receive 300 cedis. The huge discrepancies actually relates to the level of contribution made by individuals while in active income generation activity. That's according to the Director General of SNIT, Dr. John Ofori-Tinkran, who says the amount of income one makes ultimately is determines the amount of some SNIT payments and all of that. We'll get to that for you, but we'll definitely need to hear from the Mobile Money Agents Association. We'll do all of that after this break. Please stay. Apologies for that hiccup in trying to get to the Mobile Agents Association. Let's try one more time to get to Charles Quinciano, who speaks for the Mobile Agents Association. Charles, earlier we lost you when you were making the point about the modus operandi of this group.
Yes, Kofi. Like I put it, I said that the fraudsters have a way of defrauding customers and that of agents. Now, what they normally do has to do with them getting access to your 4-digit PIN code. You know, most Ghanaians and most users of mobile money services don't change their PIN code. And as a measure of security threat, people begin to have access to them and go beyond measure by defrauding these people. With that said, there are recalcitrant people among the agent body who support the idea of this fraud. And if I heard you right on your telecast, one of them said that they have themselves people who also turn themselves to the agent and one way or the other give false pretense information to them for people to be defrauded. So there are a lot of people who are also out there doing this search. But for any member of the Mobile Money Agent Association of Ghana, we put in place measures that will curtail you for not even going ahead to indulge yourself in it, because every agent who is a member of our association have a unique code that any issue that crops up, you'll be able to trace with a code. So this is how our system works. The Mobile Money Agent Association of Ghana have a database of every agent in the country. With that said, the database will equally prove to us that out of the 3 outlets that you have, the fraud was able to happen in shop A, B, or C. And then your biodata as the owner of the venture will come up. So any member of our association are being undertaken to training so that they won't be able to defraud people and have a better way of serving Ghanaians. But if you look at the report that the Bank of Ghana gave with regards to the fraud, you realize that there have been a reduction of cases, at least from 2021 to 2022, a reduction of 184 cases, which is a good sign. And we are hoping and praying that the next year on will be a very, very a good one because of the introduction of the re-registration of SIM. Now, everybody can attest to the fact that fraudulent calls have reduced drastically. Initially, people can just call you as and when they want, but now it has reduced drastically. A day, an agent can complain of not less than 80 calls on his agent SIM. But now, because of the SIM re-registration, most of these activities have come to surge. And we are hoping and praying that much education needs to be given to both users and those who have invested heavily into the ecosystem in order to mediate their affairs and have a very harmonized ecosystem to operate.
How are you liaising with stakeholders, and particularly your membership as well, to deal with this?
The random education is helping a lot. For agents, we believe in the one-on-one education. Even though we've tried other means, social media and the rest, but we believe that when customers come to your end, you take the opportunity to take them through the steps, educate them on the need for them to at least change their PIN code from time to time. It will interest you to know, since the introduction of mobile money way back in 2009, people are still using the same old method. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. People are using their date of birth, the year. People are using the last 4 digits of their phone numbers. We've educated them that it is easy. And one way to help at least prevent people from getting access to your funds is to randomly change your PIN code. At least, if you can, every month or 2, you should be able to change your code. For issues with money, we don't trust anybody. So we educate them, and there are people who don't even know how to use the app. When they come to agent, they will tell you, the agent, to help them allow cash out. And after you have been able to allow cash out for them, they will give you their PIN code to help them, and they are not willing to learn. So I will employ every Ghanaian who is listening to me, and the agent as well, not to be a member of this act, helping people to be able to access their funds by at least allowing cash out, giving them your PIN code. It's a threat. It's a threat. And one way or the other, we should at least avail ourselves to learn. Life is a teacher. The more you live, the more you learn. And if you are a human being and you don't want to learn, I am sorry. With this 21st century technological props up, I think you'll be left behind.
And as merchants, are there some policy measures you're on the lookout for, at least to address these concerns that you have?
Yes, we have meetings with the partner banks, and equally, the telcos is also helping us a lot. The back office of most of the telcos inform us on certain issues. Initially, the opposite was happening. Should you be defrauded, you have to be called that an amount of money have been credited to your account. But because of the feedback we've been giving to the telcos, that modus operandi have changed. And therefore, first, they will block the account. Second, they will initiate the reversal. Third, before they will call you, the recipient, that an amount of this came to you from this number. Initially, it was the opposite. So steps have been taken by the collaboration between us and the telcos in order to mitigate all this. And it's a win-win affair. If this fraud increases, government is going to lose a lot of revenue. It's also going to affect the telcos themselves. And equally as us investors or business partners to the telcos, we are also going to be at the losing end. So the onus lies with all of us to put measures in place to sanitize the system, to educate, and also use the local language of the people to educate them. Most people are of age, and therefore they don't understand this so-called English and whatever language we might use, social media. So we have to come down to their level, use the language that they understand. I think this is not only on the government, the telcos can also come up with a way of at least helping people to understand the system they are using. If you are a user to a system and you don't understand what it means to communicate with the system, automatically you find yourself wanting. And this is the situation of Ghana now. So I think we should change our ways of branding, learning to adapt our local dialect into the system of education so that the people who are users of this system will be able to understand and better use it for their benefits.
Grateful. Charles Quinciano speaks for the Mobile Money Vendors Association of Ghana.